Hello, Danny Morel here, Intero Real Estate Services, Rancho Cucamonga. For all of you out there in the real estate community, one of the things I wanted to speak to you about today was knowing your numbers and why that's so important. Just yesterday, I had an interview with someone that's been in the industry for over 10 years. And picture this, the topic of conversation came up when I was wanting to find out if they were a fit for our company when I asked, what were your numbers? In other words, what were your total amount of sales? What was your gross commission income for the last 2 to 3 years? And guess what happened? The individual didn't know those numbers. Then I went to a different subject and I asked, okay, so where does the majority of your business come from? And as I looked down to take notes on my interview sheet, I noticed that the individual didn't know where most of her business came from. And then I asked her a very important question. I asked, if you don't mind me asking, what do you focus on throughout the majority of your year? And here was her answer. And she says, Danny, I just focus on trying to make a sale. And you see, herein lies a problem. Whereas you as a real estate professional, if you're just focusing on trying to make a sale, one of the things that I know in many of my years in coaching and being in the real estate industry is after 10 years, you can look back into your career and you could say, man, I never really built a business. I just made a bunch of sales. And even though that sounds great, the reality is you didn't get into the business to just make sales. You got in the business for freedom. You got in the business with this crazy thought or this crazy idea in your head that said, you know what, I'm going to have an opportunity to work 4 to 5 days a week. I'm going to go on vacations once a quarter. I'm going to earn 6 figures or more. This is going to be great. And then reality hits you and you realize that in order to accomplish any of those things, you need to run a business. So as you're looking to fulfill and develop your business plan or some of the basic groundwork for what you want to accomplish in 2012, I thought I'd share with you some of the basic things that we here at Intero in our Intero roadmap keep track of, some of the numbers we keep track of. Number one is days worked. How many days are you going to work in 2012? Well, why is that so important? Here's why. Because hopefully you can keep track of this and over the next 24 months, you can start working less while earning more. By the way, that is very, very possible. Number two, hours prospected. How many hours are you going to put into prospecting for business? I've got a gentleman here in our office. He had never prospected before. I said, listen, here's what I want you to do. I gave him a 90-day plan, held him accountable to it. He went out and he door knocked, got his first ever listing by door knocking, and he actually sold it. Who would ever think that you can actually get business by going out and door knocking, huh? There's a thought there. Number three, contacts made. How many contacts will you make? How many people will you actually speak to? But Danny, why do I need to keep track of that? Here's why. Because at the end of the month, you can look at how many contacts you've made and how many leads you got as a result of that. And then that will tell you whether your sales skills are efficient or not. Very, very important. How many contacts are made. Number four, how many buyer appointments you go on and how many buyer sales you make. That'll give you an idea as to how many appointments you need to go on to actually make a sale. Number five, listings appointments, listings taken, and listings sold. Very, very important numbers you need to go off of. And some of you may say, well, Danny, I'm not really a listing agent. I'm a buyer's agent. And I'm going to challenge you to say you're missing out on one of the biggest leverage items there is in the real estate business, and that is getting listings, okay? Hopefully, some of the information that we shared here with you in this video can help you to at least start thinking about the fact that if you ever want to have a major breakthrough, if you ever want to be one of the top 20%ers in the industry, you need to start keeping track of this stuff so at the end of the year, you can look at your numbers, your data, and be able to plan for the next year. Just imagine for a second, it's December 2012 and you have all of this information. How much more powerful will your 2013 be if you actually keep track of this stuff? There's the tip, know your numbers, track them. For more information about how we can help you do that, visit interoranchocucamonga.com/careers. Hope you make it an amazing 2012.